Okay, algebra guys, day 7. We're going to do these systems of equations by substitution. In this particular ones, and you'll see it, day 7, like you said, make sure you have your notes out. We'll go through that. If you don't remember substitution from last time, go ahead and look back at that video and then come back to this one. But we'll note last time one of them was solved for y in slope-intercept form, and one was in standard form. But this one, we have both of them in standard form. Remember, we were able to substitute the y for everything on that side because all of this is y, because y is all of this is y. That's the value of it. The value of y is all of this. So if we know that this is equal to y and this is equal to y, then these two have to be equal to each other. They have to be. If this is equal to y and that is equal to y, well, y is equal to y, obviously, then these two are equal to each other. So all we do is set those two exactly equal to each other. So right there, we took that on one side and that on the other because their values are the same, because their values are the same as y, and y is equal to y, therefore you have it. So now all you're going to do, follow those 5 steps. Well, we can't distribute. There's nothing to distribute, nothing to combine on this term and combine on that term. On this side, no terms we can combine on either side. So we're going to go with that extra variable. We do have an extra variable, and we happen to have a negative 3x here and a 3x here. So for me, I'm going to get rid of the smallest one. I will add 3x to both sides of the equation, the opposite operation. I'm left with 23. And 3 plus 3 is 6x. And we bring down that minus 13 in the equals. Well, we're left with the last 2 steps. The 6 is going to be our last thing. It's held onto the x. It's going to be held onto the very end. So we have minus 13. So we're going to add 13 to both sides of the equation. 23 and 13 is 36. Our 13s are gone. We're left with 6x. We just bring that down. And the last step, as always, we're going to divide by 6. There should be nothing here. I understand that this looks different, looks weird, but we're just using our steps, those main steps, to solve everything that we can. Okay, our 6's are gone. We're left with just x on that side, and 36 divided by 6 is 6. That is our first part. Don't forget, a few of you were forgetting that these are coordinate points and it needs an x and a y. Well, that's okay because we have x here with our negative 6. We have it up here as y equals, so I don't care which one you take. I always take the top one. This makes it easier. Y equals negative 3x plus 23. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to substitute out that x. Oops. I'm going to substitute that x out for 6. That x right there becomes 6 because we know x is 6. That's that whole thing. Y is this, y is that. Those two are equal to y, therefore they're equal to each other. We can set them equal. We know that x is now 6, so we can put the 6 in there for that x. We could put the 6 in for that x as well. Pick one, pick the other one. I don't care. Negative 3 times 6 is negative 18. And negative 18 plus 23 is going to give me 5. And that's our answer. Because we have what y is, we have what x is, and bam. That's our quarter point. That's where those two lines are going to end up intersecting each other, and that coordinate point would be this 6, 5 coordinate point, okay? Somewhere up in here on our graph, right? Somewhere up in that quadrant. If you know it, you think you know it, go on. If you'd like to see more, go ahead. Stay here, take some more notes. If not, get on your assignment, get it done. Make sure that you put 2. A couple of you did it. You solved for the x, but you didn't solve for your y, so make sure you do that. Again, all of that is equal to y. All of that is equal to y. Therefore, since they have the same value, they are equal to each other. So we take this, because it's equal to y. We take this, it's equal to y. Therefore, they're equal to each other. We put them in there, equal to each other. No distribute, no combined like terms. We do have an extra variable. I like to take the lowest one. So we're going to add 6x to both sides. 4 and 6 is 10x. Bring down that minus 5. The equals. These two are gone. 6 minus 6 is 0. bring down that 15, and we have our final two steps to deal with. Going to add 5 to both sides of the equation. Remember that 10 is being attached to the 10, or to the x, the 10 is attached to the x, so therefore it's going to be the last thing because it's being multiplied. We're going to divide it at the end. We don't want to divide 10 first because that kind of messes us up because it starts giving us fractions. We don't want fractions. 15 plus 5 is 20. And our final step, easiest way to do this, is go ahead and divide by 10. And 20 divided by 10 is 2. Well, that gives us our first one. Get that out of there so you don't have to look at it. Gives us our first part, our x value, which is 2. Now we need that y value. Go back up. I don't care which one you decide to take. If you decide one looks easier than the other one and you want to choose it, that's perfectly fine. And all I did there was I changed the x to parentheses because I'm going to substitute that 2, because x is 2. So we can replace it now. 4 times 2 is 8. Bring down that 5. And 8 minus 5 is 3. And that's our quarter point. That's where those two lines cross. Somewhere over in that, if you have their quadrant, it's over here at 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, somewhere like right here. And the two lines, I don't know exactly how they're going to go, but that's how they run. And they'll intersect. They could be different, but you get an idea. That's what we're looking at, that 2, 3. All right, once again, if you think you got it, go. Do your homework. If you don't, follow. Y is equal to all of this. Y is equal to all of that. Therefore, they're equal to each other. If they're both equal to y, they are equal to each other. I'm not saying what y is. Obviously, like on the other one where we had y is 3, that would mean if this is equal to 3 and this is equal to 3, they have to be equal to each other. They have the same value, whatever y is. All right, no distribute, no combined like terms. Get rid of the extra variable. I'm going to take the lowest extra variable. Negative 8x is lower than 2x, so I'm going to add 8x to both sides of the equation. That's 0. 0 minus 25 is 25, so we just leave that. 2 plus 8 is 10x. Bring down that minus 4. Next step, get rid of what's added or subtracted. Well, it's x minus, so there it is. So it's minus 4, so we're going to add 4. Those are gone. Bring down that 10x. Negative 25 plus 4 is negative 21. Something got goofy. There it is. That was 4. 20. We got it. Good. Remember, if you make a mistake, go track it down, find it. And our answer then is negative 20 divided by 10 is 2, and x. I just wrote that down incorrectly when I did that. We all make mistakes like that. Make sure that you are writing it down correctly. It wasn't a math error, it was a write down error. There we go. So we have negative 2, so that is our x value. Go ahead and take it. I don't care which one. Maybe some of you like that 2 better than 18 and 24 or 8 and 24. So go ahead and take whichever one you like and substitute what x is. X is negative 2. And 8 times negative 2, negative 8 times negative 2 is 16. And take the 16 minus 24, which is 8. Negative 8. That's where your two lines cross. That's where they intersect. That quarter point right there. And that is x and a y. Okay. It's probably the last one I'm going to do. You guys do have, well, this is a new one. I'll go ahead and do 5 and 6. But if you're done, go ahead. So this one is equal to this one because they're both equal to x. So I'm going to start writing. We'll go through these quicker as we go along. No distribute, no combine like terms. Get rid of the lowest extra variable. I like to do the 5x. I don't have to deal with that negative. If I do the higher one, I'm going to deal with the negative all the way around. because I would have negative 7 over here instead of 7x. Bring down the 8, bring down the negative 13. Go ahead and subtract the 8 from both sides. That 7's staying to the end, and we have negative 21. Divide by 7, x equals negative 3. That is our x value. Get rid of that down there for you. That's our x value, so it's okay. We take that back up here. Y equals 2x plus 8. We're going to substitute that x for negative 3. 2 times negative 6 is negative, or 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Got ahead of myself there. And negative 6 plus 8 is 2. And there we go. We have our coordinate point. The 2 lines intersect. I'll keep going. If you're done, great. If not, keep following along. That's equal to y, that's equal to y, therefore they're equal to each other. Negative 6x plus 18 equals negative 5x plus 16. Negative 6 is lower, so I'm going to add 6x. By the way, if you decide to add 5x, you're going to be fine. You're going to end up with negative 1 over here instead of a positive 1x over here. I like working with positives. Bring down the 18. So we didn't distribute, we didn't combine like terms, we got rid of the extra variable, we're getting rid of what's added. Well, that's 16, so we're going to subtract 16, since 16 is added to both sides of the equation. And we're going to end up with 2 over here, because 18 minus 16 is 2. You have the 1x. You can actually be done there. It is x is equal to, but if you feel the need to go ahead and divide that out, that is perfectly fine. 1x is x, so we have the 2. Go back up. Substitute. I'll take the first one. You want me to take the second one? I'll take the second one on this one. Maybe some of you think you have to take the top one, but you don't. It will come out to be the correct answer. So we're going to put that 2 up there. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Plus 16 is 6. There's our coordinate point. Make sure you put it in a coordinate point. If you're not putting that, technically not right, you would lose a point if we were doing an assignment or an assessment. So make sure that you do put that there. It's not going to kill your grade, but it definitely is helpful. Well, it's necessary, I should say. It's a coordinate. The answer is a coordinate point, not the work. All right, once again, last one, these are equal to each other. So negative 3x plus 20 is equal to 2x minus 10. I always like the smallest one, plus 3x. 2 plus 3 is 5x minus 10. We're going to add 10 to both sides of the equation. That's 30 equals 5x. And last step, divided by 5. That gets us x there. And 30 divided by 5 is 6. That's our x value. And substitute it up the top. Don't like that one, it's got bigger numbers. Take the bottom one. Y equals 2x minus 10. I really don't care. Substitute that x out, and that x happens to be a 6. So we're replacing it with 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 minus 10 is 2. And there you go. That's it. Guys, watch the video as much as you want. If you still didn't get it, tomorrow, our Zoom time, 9 o'clock, be there. I can show you some more, maybe answer some questions, because if you're not talking to me, I don't know what you're misunderstanding. You might be misunderstanding things. I don't know. We'll have to talk. We'll have to look it over. Maybe we can discuss it, and I can try to get in that head of yours and figure out what's going wrong. But if you don't contact me, don't know. I can't help you. Talk to you later, guys. Be safe.